Today we are going to study the fifth lesson of the supplementary text, that is the prince. So here when he is in the palace, as far as a king or a prince is considered, they are in the palace where they are living a luxury life, isn't it? They are not knowing about what is happening around that palace. But once when the king was dead and a statue was erected in the public place, he came to know the sufferings and sorrows all around him. That means that time he understood. He had led a happy life but did not know about the outside world. So outside world means it is full of sorrows and sufferings. So many people are suffering from, even for their food they are suffering, isn't it? So such a when he was having lavishly in everything, a luxury life, he understood majority of the people outside are sufferers. So then he was trying how he can help those people who are suffering. So now we will come to know how did the prince try to help those people whom he can help. Not everybody, a few of them. Understood? Now look. The happy prince was a beautiful statue. So now the story is happening after the death of that happy prince. Why it is said to be happy? Because when he was in the palace, only happiness was known to a prince. He did not know any sorrows or sufferings or sadness. All the time the prince was happy because whatever he needs, everything is being provided. So there is no means of being sadness, isn't it? Only always making the prince always happy. All the people in the court are worried to make the prince happy all the time. So he did not come to know the sorrows and the sufferings. That is why the name happy is being given. He was covered. So now the statue, after death, a statue is being erected. He was covered with gold. He had saffrons for eyes and a ruby in his sword. So with the sword, that statue is being erected, and the saffrons, precious diamonds and precious stones and gems, with all that rubies and all, the whole body is being decorated. Even when after death also, the statue is full of precious stones. Why did he want to part with all the gold that he had and the precious statue? So that statue decided to give out all those gold and diamonds which covered his body to somebody else. We will see to whom they all were given. Understood the summary or outline of the story? Okay, now we go to the lesson. High above the city, on a tall column. Column means square. That means a public place. Column, square. Or we can say junction, marketplace, square. That means in the where the four roads are meeting together, a junction. Understood? There stood the statue of the happy prince. So there is the statue erected. He had guided all over with the thin leaves of fine gold. So that whole statue is fully covered with the gold leaves. For eyes he had two bright saffrons and a large red ruby glowed on the sword. Even on the sword there is a ruby stone also. One night there flew over a city a small swallow. Swallow is a bird. Swallow is a small bird. So one night a bird came there. His friends have gone away to Egypt. So all these birds are migrating from one place to another. So now all the friends have gone to the direction of Egypt. 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind, decided to go to Egypt. So all his friends all together, you also have seen in the sky, a group of birds or flock of birds are being flowing, isn't it? So like that when they move, one bird will not go alone to another place. A flock will be there, group will be there. So all the other remaining birds, so everyone started together and decided to move towards Egypt. So everyone had gone to Egypt, and how many weeks over? 6 weeks are over. But this small swallow decided in between he had a thought of staying somewhere and then going back to Egypt and then grouping with the other birds. All day long he flew, at night time he arrived at the city. So daytime he was flying, and the night when the darkness came, he thought of taking shelter. That time he reached the city. Where shall I put up? That means the whole night I have to stay somewhere. So the bird thought, where shall I sit? I hope the town has made preparations. Then he saw the statue on the tall column. So while he was thinking where he will spend his night, suddenly he saw the statue of that happy prince. I will put up there, he cried. So he thought he will go and take shelter there. It is a fine position with plenty of fresh air. That means it is in the middle of the city and in an open place, isn't it? So he thought if he stay over there, he can breathe fresh air. So he alighted just between the feet of the happy prince. So in between the feet, he decided to stay over there. I have a golden bedroom, he said softly to himself as he looked round and he prepared to go to sleep. But just as he was putting his head under the wing, a large drop of water fell on him. What a curious thing, he cried. There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and it is raining. So now he took shelter in between the, where did he take shelter? In between the feet of that statue, golden prince statue. Then suddenly he thought, okay, the night is there, and he thought of sleeping, and he put his beak inside. While he was going to put the beak inside the body, what happened? You all have seen how the birds are sleeping, putting the beak inside like a rounding up, isn't it? So while he was putting there, suddenly a drop of water fell on him. Then he looked up and saw that the bright stars are shining in the sky and no dark clouds. So from where the rain is coming? He thought it is the drops of raindrops. Then another drop. So first drop had fallen, again another one. What is the use of a statue if it cannot keep the rain off? He said. I must look for a good chimney pot, and he determined to fly away. So he thought, the statue, if I stay over here and if it rains, I will get wet. So now I have to go and find a place where? On the chimney top. But before he thought he will fly away from that place. But before he had opened his wings, a third drop fell, and he looked up and saw. Oh, what did he see? So again the second drop fallen. That time he thought, okay, this place is not good for him. He will go and find a place where? On the chimney top. Suddenly when he was about to fly, another drop fell on him. And he looked up from where the drops are coming. The eyes of the happy prince was filled with tears, and tears were running down his golden cheek. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was wilted with pity. So when he looked up, he saw the drops coming from where? From the eyes of that golden statue, and it was falling on him. And seeing that, who felt pity, sympathy? The bird. Who are you? He said. I am the happy prince. Why are you weeping? Weep means to cry. Weep, to cry. Why are you? So the bird asked the prince, why are you crying? You have quite drenched me. The drenched means wet. Drenched, to wet. So the bird is complaining because you had made my body wet. How? because from that eye drops I got wet. And why are you crying? When I was alive, now the statue is saying his story. When I was alive and had a human heart, answered the statue, I did not know that what tears were. For I lived in the palace where sorrow is not allowed to enter. So he is saying, when I was living as a human being in the palace, who was not allowed to enter? Sorrow was not allowed to enter. That means no sorrow at all, only happiness. My courtiers called me the happy prince. So they gave the name Happy Prince because all the time only happiness. And happy indeed I was, and the statue is saying, I was also happy. So I lived and I died. So happily the prince was living, and finally he died. And now that I am dead, they had set me up here so high that I can see the ugliness and all the misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose be weep. That means after death, my human heart has gone, and instead of my heart, it is made out of lead, because it is the whole statue is made of metal, isn't it? And though the heart is also a part of that metal, and I cannot hold my heart even though it is metal. Why? Because when seeing the ugliness of the surrounding kingdom, that means miseries and sorrows of I am seeing now, I cannot without crying I cannot keep my heart. What? Is he not solid gold? Said the swallow to himself. He was too polite to make any personal remark. So the swallow was having the doubt whether he is human being or made of metal. Far away, continued the statue in a low musical voice. Far away in a little street there is a poor house. One of the windows is open, and through it I can see a woman seated at the table, a woman sitting at the table. Her face is thin and worn, and she had coarse red hands all pricked by the needle. Her hands are fully picked. Picked means poked by the needles. For she is a seamstress. She is a seamstress. One who does the stitching. So while stitching, the needle is poking every part of her finger. She is embroidering flowers on a satin gown for the loveliest of the queens maid of honor to wear at the next court ball. So she is preparing a gown for the queen's maid for her court ball, means court dance. In the bed in the corner of the room, a little boy is lying ill. So that woman's little child is lying at the corner of the room. He had a fever and asking her mother to give him oranges. So he is having fever and he is lying there and asking the mother, who is preparing the dress, to give him oranges. His mother had nothing to give him but river water, so he is crying. So she had only water to give him instead of oranges. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword here? My feet are fastened to the pedestal and I cannot move it. So it is a statue and it cannot move, isn't it? So asking the swallow, you take out that ruby from my sword and you fly to that woman to give her and help her child. I am waiting for in Egypt. So the bird said, I am getting that means the next morning I have to start my journey to Egypt. My friends are flying up and down the Nile. Nile is the river, and talking to a large lotus flower. Soon they will go to sleep. So now they already had reached in Egypt and they are talking to the large lotus flower, and tomorrow morning I have to go and join with them. The prince asked the swallow to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. The boy is so thirsty and the mother so sad, he said. So again the swallow could not see the sadness of that woman, isn't it? And the boy, so what he said, you today, one night you be my messenger, just run to that lady and give him, because the boy is so thirsty. He cannot drink the river water. I don't think I like boys, answers Swallow. I want to go to Egypt. But the bird is saying that I could not do that. I have to go to Egypt. But the happy prince looked so sad that the little swallow was sorry. It is very cold here, he said. But he agreed to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. So after seeing the sorrowful, sad face of the prince, what did the swallow say? Okay, for today night I will be your messenger. I will go and give the ruby to that woman. Thank you, little swallow, said the prince. Swallow picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roof of the town. With that ruby, the bird flew to the house of that woman. He passed by the cathedral tower where the white marble angels were sculptured. That means church, Christian church. Everywhere we can see in front of the church, the statues are there. He passed by the palace and heard the sound of dancing. Then on the way he saw the palace and the music of dancing came from there. A beautiful came out of the balcony with a lover. All this the bird saw while it was going to the worrying mother and the child. I hope my dress will be ready in time for the state god, she said. I have ordered flowers to be embroidered on it. But the seamstresses are so lazy. So the girl who came out of the palace was talking about this, about the dress, what the woman was doing, and her child was lying sick, isn't it? The bird had heard that. He passed over the river and saw the lanterns hanging on the mast of the ships. At last he came to the poor woman's house and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly on his bed, too much severe fever, and the mother had fallen asleep. She was too tired. In he hoped and laid the great ruby on the table beside the woman's tumble. Then he flew gently round the bed, fanning the boy's forehead with his wings. How cool I feel, said the boy. I must be getting better. And he sank into the delicious slumber. So, when the bird entered the room, the bird saw the mother. Because of tiredness, she had felt sleeping, isn't it? And the boy was lying on the corner. And the bird put the ruby on the table and flew round the boy, and that from the wings he could get the cool air, and he felt he is getting better. Understood? Then the swallow flew back to the happy prince. Now after leaving the ruby over there, he came back to the happy prince and told him what he had done. Oh, it is curious, he remarked, but I feel quite warm now, although it is so cold. So the work he had done, he felt conscious about the work he had, and at least he had helped one person. This is because you have done a good action, said the prince. So the prince had congratulated him and said that you have done a good work. And the little swallow began to think and then fell asleep. So the night he fell asleep. Thinking always made him sleepy. That means next day preparation to go to Egypt. When day broke, he flew down to the river and had a bath. Tonight I go to Egypt. So he thought the day will be there, and when the night comes, he has to fly towards to Egypt. And the swallow, and he was in high spirit at the prospect. That means going to meet his friends. He visited all the monuments and sat a long time on top of the church steeple. So the daytime he was flying all around the area and watching all the monuments. Monuments means old building. When the moon rose, now the night started, he flew back to the happy prince. Have you any commissions for Egypt? He cried. I am just starting. Said that, today have you got any work? Today I am going to start to Egypt. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Will you stay with me one night longer? So again the prince asked, can you stay today night also? I am waited for in Egypt. That means I am waiting to reach Egypt. Swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Far away. Now again another story. That means first person, with the ruby, the statue had helped her. Now coming for the next person. I can see a young man in the direct. He is leaning over a desk covered with the papers. And in the glass by the side there is a bunch of withered violets. His hair is brown and crisp and his lips are red as a pomegranate. And he has large and dreamy eyes. He is trying to finish a play for the director of the theatre. But he is too cold to write anymore. There is no fire in the grate and hunger has made him faint. So he is a writer. He has to write the story and submit to the director of the theatre. And because it is too cold, he had no warm clothes and at the same time no fire also to give warmth for his body. And he had no food, so he is feeling unconscious. I will wait with you one night longer. So when hearing the sad story of that young person who felt sympathy, the swallow felt sympathy and said, one more night I will be with you. Who really had a good heart, he asked Ruby to the young parrot. I have no ruby now. My eyes are all that I had left. Now only the eyes is being left. That is a young writer. Second one is a young writer. Here ruby is given. They are made of rare saffrons. Which were brought out of India 1000 years ago. So it is about more than 1000 years old. It has been brought from outside India. He ordered the swallow to pluck out one of them. So among the saffron, one saffron. Understood? One saffron to take out from one eye. So two eyes are there. So one from one eye. Take it to the playwright. Now you take and go. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy plywood and finish his play. So if you go take one from my eye and go and give that playwright, what he will do? He will go to the jewelry, sell it, get money and make himself warm at the same time, get some food also. Dear prince, said the sword, I cannot do that. And he began to weep. He said, because through the eyes only, the prince is seeing all the sorrows and sufferings and seeing who are suffering the most, isn't it? So if that is taken from the eyes, what will happen? His sight, he will lose his sight. So the bird said, no, I will not take it. Do as I command you. But the prince said, no, as I command, I am requesting you. So the prince picked out the eyes and flew away to the young man's granite. It was easy enough to get in as there was a hole in the roof. Through the hole of the roof, he got inside. Through this, he darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. Fluttering means when the bird is flying, the sound made from the wings. And when he looked up, he found the beautiful saffron lying on the withered violet. So he placed that saffron on the table and he came. I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some good admirer. Now I can finish my play, and he looked quite happy. So seeing the saffron, the playwright was happy to see that. The next day, then he had made himself comfortable. The next day, Swallow flew down to the harbour. He sat on the mast of the large vessel and watched the sailors working. The next morning, he was on the sea watching the sailors. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded. And when the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. So the day is over, and when the moon came, when the night started, he came back to the happy prince. I had come to bid you goodbye. That means I came here to say goodbye to you. Swallow, swallow, will you not stay with me one night longer? So again, what did the prince say? One more night you have to stay with me. It is winter, answered the swallow, and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt the sun is warm on the green palm leaves and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. That means before the snow is being covered, I have to reach Egypt. In the square below, said the happy prince, there stands a little match girl. Who is the next one? Match girl. She has let the matches fall in the gutter and they are all spoiled. What happened to her? All the matches have gone in the gutter and got spoiled. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home money. She is crying, and she cannot return home to come to her father without money. So she started crying. So now the statue has to help whom? The match girl. She had no shoes or stockings and her little head is bare, nothing on her head. Because it is cold, isn't it? Pluck out my other eye and give it to her and her father will not beat her. So, it's also to give the one separate. So, one already taken from one eye and next only one was left. So, the statue said, go and give that one more to whom? To that match girl, so that her father will not beat her. I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow, but I cannot pluck out your eye. You will be quite blind. So the swallow did not agree to that. He said, okay, one more night I will stay with you, but I cannot take that eye from you. Why? Because already one eye had already been taken and only one eye is left. So if both eyes are taken, he will become blind, isn't it? So the swallow said that you will become blind. I am not willing to take. Swallow, do as I command you. So again, I am commanding you, you have to obey my request. So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down with it, and he started flying. He swept past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand, even in her palm. What a lovely bit of glass, cried the little girl, and she ran home laughingly. Why? Because now her father will not beat her. Then the swallow came back to the prince. You are blind now, he said, so I will stay with you always. So now the prince swallow did not want to go back to Egypt. Why? Because he thought now nobody is there to look after whom? The statue, isn't it? Because both the eyes had gone. No, I will stay with you always, said, and he slept at the prince's feet. All the next day, he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him stories of what he had seen in strange lands. And then from next day onwards, the prince is not seeing anything because he is blind now. So what did the swallow do? Swallow did not go out of the area. He sat on his shoulder and started looking all around and describing each and everything. Dear little swallow, said the prince, you tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than everything is the suffering of men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over and city, little swallow, tell me what you see there. So only the good things are saying that now you are saying only me the good things, but other than the good things, there are sorrows and sufferings in the world. You go around and say, see and come and describe to me. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses. That is, rich people enjoying themselves in their houses, while the beggars are sitting at the gate. And in the gate of their house, who is sitting? Beggars. They are not worried about the beggars. They are enjoying inside. He flew into the dark lanes and saw the white faces of starving children looking out listlessly in the back street, and in the streets he could see all the children begging. Under the archway of the bridge, two little boys were lying in each other's arms to try and keep themselves warm because they don't have any warm clothes. How hungry we are, they said. You must not lie here, shouted the watchman. Wandered out into the rain, and because to take shelter from the rain, they went there and began to lie down. But what did the watchman do? He came and put them out again in the rain. So everywhere he could see only these are the sufferings. Both the young and old are suffering. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. So now he came back again to the prince and said the scenes what he had seen. I am covered with the gold, fine gold. So the prince, you must take it out leaf by leaf and give it to the poor. You always think that gold can make them happy. Then now ice is over. Then the ruby is over. Now his body is fully covered with the golden leaves. Golden leaves. So what did the prince say? You take one leaf out of my body and run to all those who are suffering and help them. May that will also help them. Leaf after leaf in the fine gold the swallow picked up. So the swallow started taking one leaf and going and flying and giving to those who are suffering. All the happy prince looked quite dull and weak. Then when every leaf had gone out of his body, only the metal can be seen and it looks dull and grey. Because all the beauty had gone. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor. The children's face grew rosier and they laughed and played in the street. We have bread now. That means they got food because they were able to sell that and get food for that. So now all the people whom the swallow had seen are now happy after getting the leaf. Then the snow came and after the snow came the frost. So it is bitter cold. The streets looked as if they are made of silver. Everywhere snow is covered. Everybody went about in furs and the little boy with scarlet caps and shaved off the eyes. So the children, some time before they were sad and they were not having any warm clothes. So after getting the leaf, now they are happy and they enjoyed in the snow. The poor little swallow grew old, colder and colder because the bird also feeling very cold because it is bitter cold. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. But at last, because he is not willing to go, leave home and go to leave the statue there and go to Egypt. He wanted because every part of the valuable, expensive part of the statue had been distributed to the poor people. Now only the metal is remaining. He had just enough strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. Goodbye, dear prince, he murmured. Will you let me kiss your hand? So now the swallow said, and again nothing is left to give, isn't it? So the swallow took on the shelter, sat on the shoulder and asked, let me kiss on your hand. I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow. You have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you. That means instead of hand, you kiss me on my lips because I love you the most. And now you can go back to Egypt. It is not to Egypt that I am going, said the swallow. I am going to the house of death. Death is a brother of sleep, you see. Now that means now I am, because the bird, it is a small bird and it is feeling very cold and it cannot survive in that cold, isn't it? So the bird understood now that he is going to die. So he said, now no more life is left in me, I am going to die. And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. And at the last moment, it gave a kiss on the lips and it fell on the feet of the statue. At that moment, a curious cracking means something, breaking sound inside the statue. Some breaking, something was broken, as something had broken. The fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right into, that means the heart, the metal heart had broken into two. So broken into two parts. Had broken into two parts because as when that bird, small bird, up to then it was helping all the people whoever the statue had asked, isn't it? And all parts of the valuable had gone and given also. Now at the last moment it is very cold and that small bird could not live in that coldness. So it gave the last kiss to the lips of the statue and it fell on the feet of the statue. And now as soon as the bird had fallen on the feet, there was a sudden cracking or broken sound inside the statue. And that means, what was that? The heart, which is made of lead, that is metal, it has broken into two pieces. The fact is that the Leiden heart had snapped right into, it has broken into two. It certainly was a dreadful hard frost. Early the next morning, so that is the end of the statue and the swallow. Early the next morning, the mayor of the place was walking in the square below in company with the two councillors. So the mayor and the two councillors came to that particular place. As they passed the column, he looked at the statue. Dear me, how shabby. Shabby means dirty. The happy prince looks. So while they are going, the mayor said, look the statue, it looks very dirty. Why it looks very dirty? Up to then it was fully covered with the gold, isn't it? And it was a bright statue. And now everything had gone out of it. So only the metal is being seen and it looks dirty. How shabby indeed, cried the councillors. So the councillors also agreed with the mayor, saying that it doesn't look so good. Who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. The ruby had fallen out of the sword. Eyes are gone and he is no longer golden. He is a little better like a beggar. So mayor said, now everything has gone from his body and now he looks like a beggar. Little better than a beggar, said the town councillor. And here is actually a dead bird at his feet, continued the mayor. And the mayor saw that a bird lying dead at the feet of the statue. We must really issue a proclamation that birds are not, proclamation means order, that means we should issue an order that the birds are not allowed to die here. And the town clerk made a note of the suggestion. So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince. Now they pulled down the statue from that place. As he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful. Now they said that there is no use of the statue erecting in this way in the square, isn't it? Because it doesn't look very beautiful. Every part of its body, all the valuables had gone out. Art professor of the university. Then they melted the statue in a furnace. Then the whole statue, it is of metal, so they put it in the fire. What a strange thing, said the overseer of the workman at the foundry. This broken heart, laden heart will not melt in the furnace. So the whole other part of the body had been melted in the fire, but what was not melted? This heart was not melted. We must throw it away. So said, we cannot again melt this heart, we have to throw it away. So they threw it on the deep heap where the dead swallow was also lying. So beginning, before the statue was taken out for putting in the fire, the bird, the dead body of the bird has been taken and thrown out. So now the whole body of the statue is been melted, except which was not melted, the heart was not melted. It was like that. So what did they say? We cannot melt it, throw it out. They had thrown along with that bird. Bring me the two most precious things in the city, said God to one of the angels, and the angel brought him the laden heart and the dead bird. So in the heaven, the God asked the angels to go to the earth and bring two precious things. And what are the two precious things the angels have brought to the God? The laden, this broken heart and the dead bird. You have right chosen, said God. For in my garden of paradise, this little bird shall sing forever more, and in my city of gold, the happy prince should praise me. That means in the heaven, the God has made that bird sing the song. That means life was given to that bird, and that happy prince statue also was given the life, isn't it? Shall praise me. So when the prince was dead, and when the mayors did not want that statue to be taken, what did they do? Except the heart did not melt, the other part of the body has been melted. So there is no use of that, or the people did not know the use of that. So what did they do? They threw it up. So why did the angel had brought these things to God? Because those two are precious. What did they do? When he was a prince, he did not come to know about the sorrows and the sufferings. But after that, he came to know what is the life on the earth. And then he decided to help them from whatever things that had seen that have been covered in his statue, and with that he was able to help some of the poor people who are in very need, isn't it? So that was the kind thing, something good the prince, the statue had done. And in order to help that statue who was not able to move from one place to another, who had helped? That small sword of that bird had helped him according to the prince, isn't it? Whatever the prince asked and whatever to give to whom, all that the small bird had done. And at the last time, when the prince was not able to see anything, he himself had become blind. What did the bird do? A bird did not want to go to Egypt because he did not want to leave this prince there alone, isn't it? So what did the bird do? He stayed with him, and at that time the winter became very bitter and it was not possible for a bird to live over there, isn't it? So what happened to the bird? Finally, it gave a last kiss to the princess and it fell dead. At that moment, when the bird had died, whose heart also had broken? The prince's heart also had broken. Understood? So that much attachment was there between that bird and the prince. So now we come to the end of the lesson. Why do the courtiers call the prince the happy prince? So why the name happy prince was said? Because he was always happy. He did not come to know what are sorrows or sufferings. Is he really happy? Yes, when he was in the palace, he was really happy. What does he all around? But when he was erected as a statue, he was not at all happy. Why? Because he could see all the sufferings and miseries around the world. Why does the happy prince send a ruby for the seamstress? Because she was doing the embroidery work for the Prince Queen's maid for the dance, isn't it? And her child was lying, having severe fever, and he wanted to drink orange juice. So he went, he gave the ruby to that woman. What does the swallow do? The stage went inside and placed the ruby on the table and fan and made a circular around that boy who was suffering from fever, and that had fanned the boy to give coolness. So the boy thought he is getting better. For whom does the prince send the sufferings and ways? So first suffering was sent to the young playwright who was too much tired and hungry, and he could not continue his work because of the because of the cold. He is getting cold also. He was not able to write, isn't it? So one eye was sent to him, and then the match girl who had lost all the matches and was crying because without money her father will beat her. So that one suffering was given to that girl, and she felt happy. What does the swallow see when it flies over the city? So first the swallow saw all the good things and started scraping about the good things what the bird had seen. But after some time the prince said, I do not want to know about the good things. You fly further and see again what the people are suffering. Why did the people not leave the prince and go? Why did the swallow did not leave the prince? Because both the eyes had gone out of the prince, and at the same time all the golden leaves from his body also had gone, and nothing is left. So now he thought that the princess will be alone if he leaves the place. So he did not want to leave a prince who was blind enough. What are the precious things mentioned in the story? What are they precious? These are the sufferings, rubies and all that, and at the same time the prince helping them. So now we come to the end of that fifth lesson again. So the notes will be sent to you. Again 4 more lessons are left to you. You read the lessons carefully so that you will understand more easily when you understand the lessons. Understood? So read it properly many times, more than once you can read the lesson. Okay, thank you.